Right, so I have found this iMac Retina 5K late 2015 in my parents' house. It did used to be my main computer back when I was in high school. And then I got a MacBook when I finished high school. And then this thing's just been sat collecting dust upstairs. I don't have the MacBook anymore. It was a MacBook Air, late 2019 version. So it was just or an early 2019 version. So it was just the one before the Silicon came out. So it was still an Intel one. It was one of the last Intel ones. The issue with the MacBook Air was that if you tried to do anything other than create a Google Doc in Chrome, the fan would ramp up so loud it would sound like a PS4 back when Call of Duty Warzone first came out. So I got rid of that, and then I got I think it's a HP Victus laptop. Now I know HP does not make the best laptops, however, it was kind of like a gaming laptop that didn't look like one. And that's exactly what I was looking for, and also it was only £500, so I couldn't complain because it is quite powerful. Anyway, back to the Mac. So the reason I've got this out is because I'm going back to university, and I just like using productivity apps in Mac. The issue is that this one is on macOS Monterey. Now, I think macOS Monterey support has ended, and I'm pretty sure apps will still continue to support it for a little while still. However, at some point they won't. And also, because I like to break things and make tech slower, I'm also deciding to see if this thing will run macOS Sequoia. Now, why not macOS Tahoe? The reason why we won't do Tahoe is because Tahoe is still being developed by the Open Core Patcher developers. And Open Core Patcher is what we're going to be using to patch macOS Sequoia onto the Mac. And I do know there has been some sort of development on there, but as of last time I checked on the community website, there is not even graphics drivers, so there is no point of even trying to compile it myself because it will most likely not work. So we'll go with the newest version that we can do, and we'll go with Sequoia. Now, macOS Monterey was the last supported macOS version for this Mac. As you can see here are the specs of the Mac. So it was basically the top model at the time that it came out, and it was the last one that came out. The only thing is that it came with the base amount of RAM. So we're stuck with 8 gigs. Now I would be able to increase that. However, I haven't got any RAM at the minute. So we're just going to run it with 8 gigs, see what happens. At some point, if I manage to find a cheap pair of RAM, I will probably put that in, but that's simple enough to do. 3.2 GHz quad core Intel Core i5. Now this part, honestly, I don't think it does a lot. Even at this point, this Mac running macOS Monterey is still quite slow. Now, I don't really have a way of showing you because it just happens, but things like settings will take forever to load, things like Finder will take forever to find things. Now, this could just be with the fact that this is an old hard drive and I might need to upgrade it. However, I really don't feel like taking apart this whole thing because that would mean taking off the screen and everything like that. And if I take off the screen and there is a single particle of dust when I put it back on, I'm never going to use the thing. So in summary, in this video, what we're going to do is we're going to install macOS Sequoia, or see if we can install macOS Sequoia. If we can't install macOS Sequoia, what is the latest version that we can do without bricking the system, and then we will see how it runs with the most scientific benchmark of them all, Minecraft. We'll have to see if everything works. I'm sure the drivers work because, you know, Sequoia has been out for a while. First thing we're going to do is we're going to check whether this needs another update, because if we're going to update to the latest version, I might as well finish the updates that have been available to us prior to that. So, and yeah, it looks like we've got macOS Monterey and Safari. We're not going to do the Safari because that's useless, so we're going to do the Safari. And we're going to go with Monterey. I'm assuming this is just a security update, so it shouldn't take too long to download and then install. Anyway, I'll be back when this is downloaded. Okay, right, so that took a lot longer than expected. It's been around an hour. Half of it was downloading, the other half was the Mac just rebooting like 5 times. But we've got here, we're now up to date on macOS Monterey 12.7.6. So the next step is going onto Open Core Legacy Patcher and actually doing the patch. So I think I mentioned earlier, I have already got Open Patcher downloaded and installed. I was having a look at the options the other day because I thought originally that you could do macOS Tahoe, but then of course, like I said at the beginning, you can't. You can, but it's risky and it most likely won't work. Like I said, we're going to make a macOS installer, we're going to download macOS, and we're going to do the macOS Sequoia download. Of course, this is going to take some time. Again, just a lot of waiting. Like I said, this is a 2015 Mac, so you know all of the drivers and things like that, they might be up to date. But of course, the Wi-Fi card is around 11 years old now, or will be this year. So me not having Ethernet in my house is actually a bit of an issue here, but that's fine. We can just wait, whatever. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna quickly skim through the instructions for OpenCore Legacy, because I haven't actually read them. I just know the first steps, and that's about it. I know that the main thing to do is that you need the macOS installer. Right, so we are on the OpenCore Legacy Patcher website. Right, so when we get to the part where it's actually fully downloaded, which as you can see here, is going to take absolutely forever, so I won't be able to finish the video tonight. We will need to create a USB flash drive to put the install on. I will be back once the download has finished. Right, so we are back now, and it took a long time. We're back at this now, and it comes back with a new message, and it says create macOS installer. Finish extracting the installer. Would you like to continue and create a macOS installer? Yes, please. It's not macOS Sequoia, and yeah, this looks like it's it. So make sure you want to export that code later. Yes, we are gonna wait for it to do this thing. Okay, so the installer has finished creating. Right, so it's asking me, installer created successfully. Would you like to continue and install OpenCore to the disk? I say yes. Okay, build and install OpenCore. Finish building your Open. Would you like to install OpenCore now? Yes. Right, there you go. You'll need to reboot and hold the Option key and select OpenCore boot EFI's option. So reboot. Okay, from what I understand, it's this one first. There you go. And then macOS Sequoia. Okay. I think we are booting in. Install macOS Sequoia. So we'll do that. We'll continue. I'm sorry if the camera's not central, but the tripod I have barely works. I don't know why all of them. Well, I have three, but we'll just go with the first one and just assume that's the right one. Okay, we'll be back once this is done. Okay, we have finally at the setup screen. That took forever. Honestly, it just kept booting and booting, and I thought I messed something up, but it looks like it just took its time basically. So now we can set up. And we are in. Okay, I'm looking at my desktop on off camera, and it looks like it's. I do need to select a setting so that it boots without going through the boot picker, which we will do in a moment. Has it said that you're booting up from USB? I thought I was already doing that. Okay, so where we last left off, it was yesterday. Now it is today. So one day later. Basically all I did was take out the USB stick out of the back of the Mac, and boom, it is installed to the hard drive. So that's basically the only thing that I was doing wrong yesterday. So everything's all set up. I have checked. OpenCore Patcher does say that all of the patches have been installed, so that did stay. Now you are seeing an update, but that's just a Safari update. I clicked on it by accident, but what I did have to do is I had to disable every single bit that allows for an automatic update. The reason for that is because this tried installing Tahoe. Now, the only thing with macOS Tahoe is that, of course, it's still unsupported by the OpenCore Legacy Patcher. So even if I did download it, I have no way of getting any drivers or anything like that. And and there has been issues where people have accidentally upgraded to Tahoe and basically killed their system. So I disabled automatic downloads and updates, and I'm hoping that that will be it, because I'd rather not have to go through the process of kind of reverting back from Tahoe after finally having success with Sequoia. As of January 26th, do not install Tahoe. And then the first thing you see is how to fix your upgrade. Tahoe causing problems, so yeah. Not going to try to do that, because I'd rather not, but it is quite funny that after upgrading to Sequoia, the Apple updater automatically thinks that you are able to download Tahoe. But yeah, if you're doing this yourself, do not download Tahoe. It is not finished for the Open Core Legacy Patcher, so if you do download it, you will have a lot of issues, and drivers are not supported as of yet. Just to show you what it looks like, here is macOS allowing me to upgrade to Tahoe. Again, we don't want to do this because this will just break. Okay, so I've just downloaded Minecraft. I have two options for Minecraft, and we'll get to that in just a moment. But I'm just playing around with all the settings and everything, just making sure everything's working fine. Plays, you can dim it, up brightness, everything's fine. So here's the Mac information, just to confirm everything that we've done. So it's still the same iMac, it's just that now we have macOS Sequoia. Now we are going to move on to the most scientific part of this whole experiment, and we are going to see whether Minecraft can run properly on there. So I've done two options. I've got the regular Minecraft, which is just the official Minecraft launcher. We're going to see how that runs, and if it doesn't run particularly well, we are also going to try the fabulously optimized mod pack on Modrinth, see if that helps in any way, just to get to a playable state. But like I said, first we're going to try regular Minecraft and see how that runs. Okay, so we can confirm that sound is working, so that's always good. We're going to leave the settings as they are, as they come standard. Okay, and we're in. Okay. Do you know what? This is not half bad. Here we get some stuttering here and there when we try loading some new render distance, but it's not too shabby. Let's see. What's the FPS looking like? Right, we are running a steady 30 FPS. Okay, no, this is playable. No, definitely. I mean, the lowest we've seen is 29, if I've got that correctly. So do you know what? Not 27, okay, so it does dip below 30, but it is completely playable if you're playing vanilla Minecraft. So yeah, so Minecraft on here works completely fine. So let's quickly go on to fabulously optimize and see what the highs are for that. Okay, so as you can see, we are now in the fabulously optimized mod pack. Of course, here are all the packs. So let's have a look and see how much better, if you know, at all, the performance is. We are into a world. Now let's have a look. If we press F3. Okay, so the difference isn't huge, yeah, but it has given us an extra 10 FPS. So, you know, optimization mod packs definitely do help with performance, but again, it's not a big difference. So you probably want to use this more for quality of life, or if you want to play on a server or anything like that. So yeah, so altogether, this definitely does pass the Minecraft test. So, you know, if you want to upgrade your old Mac to, I say old, it's only late 2015, so it's not that old. It's only 10 years, which, to be fair, for Macs isn't actually that long because they do have support for quite a while. But still, it's pretty old hardware. If you have a look here, if I go into about this Mac, yeah, it's running an Intel 3.2 GHz quad-core processor. However, it still only has a Radeon R9 in it. So, you know, that thing itself only has 2 GB of video memory. So, you know, take that as you please. But I think that this Mac is more than capable of running Sequoia. If it's capable of running Tahoe, I guess we'll have to see for when that is actually more stable and actually has drivers and things like that for it. But overall, Not bad. Everything runs as it should be. I haven't run into any major glitches doing some testing off camera. Other than that, there's not really much more to say. It's macOS at the end of the day, and Sequoia, at least graphically wise, isn't that much different from Big Sur, and that's it, macOS Monterey. So graphically wise, you know, appearance wise, doesn't look much different than macOS Monterey. It just has a bit more in the settings, and you know, we have wallpaper wise and things like that. So overall, it's not much different. Tahoe is the one that's going to be the big jump graphically wise. So when that releases, I will make a video on that, and we'll have to see what the performance is like with the glass appearance. But you know, we'll cross that bridge when it comes to it. But for now, I can definitely say that this is an upgrade because you've got support, and you know, you can always downgrade or upgrade. Other than that, I'm going to carry on using this for a couple more days. If there's any updates, I'll leave that in the comments. That'll basically be it for this video. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.